budget-friendly student living in Australia. Hey everyone! Welcome back to Arrows to Australia, where we bring you all the tips and tricks for making the most of student life in Australia. Today, we're tackling a topic every student thinks about: the cost of living in Australia. Whether you're an international student or a local, living on a budget can be tricky, but don't worry, I've got you covered with some practical, budget-friendly tips. Let's dive in. First, let's break down the average costs you'll encounter as a student in Australia. Keep in mind these can vary depending on where you live. Rent, $500 to $1,200, depending on location and accommodation type. Food, $300 to $500. Transport, $50 to $150, if you're using public transport. Utilities, $100 to $200. Entertainment and miscellaneous, $100 to $250. Now that you have an idea of the costs, let's talk about ways to save money in each category. Accommodation is usually the biggest expense. Here's how you can save. Look for shared housing options. Living with roommates can cut costs significantly. Check out university accommodations, as they often include utilities in the rent. If you're comfortable, consider living slightly outside the city centre for cheaper rents and commuting in. Apps like Flatmates, Gumtree, and realestate.com.au are great for finding affordable options. Food is another big expense, but there are plenty of ways to eat well on a budget. Cook at home instead of eating out, it's healthier and much cheaper. Shop at local markets like Paddy's Market in Sydney or Queen Victoria Market in Melbourne for fresh produce at low prices. Look for supermarket discounts at Coles, Woolworths, or Aldi, and keep an eye out for student meal deals around campus. Also, meal prepping for the week can save you both time and money. Next up, transport. Australia has excellent public transport systems in most cities. To save money, get a student concession card. This can cut your travel costs by up to 50%. Consider biking or walking if you live close to campus. Use transport apps like Opal for Sydney or Myki for Melbourne to find the cheapest routes and schedules. For utilities like electricity, water, and internet, splitting the bills with housemates can reduce costs. Use energy-efficient practices, like turning off lights and appliances when not in use. Entertainment doesn't have to break the bank either. Australia is full of free activities like beaches, hiking trails, and city festivals. You can also check out student discounts for movies, events, and gym memberships. One of the best ways to manage your budget is to earn while you learn. As a student, you're allowed to work part-time up to 20 hours a week. Retail, hospitality, and tutoring are popular options. Don't forget to look into scholarships and grants offered by your university or government programs. They can be a huge help with tuition and living expenses. Before we wrap up, here are some bonus tips to keep your budget in check. Use apps like Splitwise to track shared expenses with friends. Shop second-hand for clothes and furniture. Check out stores like Salvos and Vinnie's. Take advantage of free student events on campus for food and networking opportunities. Living in Australia as a student doesn't have to be expensive if you plan wisely and take advantage of these budget-friendly tips. I hope this guide helps you make the most of your time here without breaking the bank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more helpful content. Drop your questions or your own tips in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next video.